Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Our channel, my channel, whatever. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A for my labor and delivery for when I had my baby. And if you see me looking down, she's right here. She's right here. So I'm holding her. So I'm really excited because, like, I don't know, I feel so good. Like, after having a baby, I thought, like, people talk about, like, postpartum depression and stuff like that. Like, I feel great. So, I put people's, like, by, like, how they followed me. And, like, I mean, not how they followed me. Their, like, their username, on social media or whatever. So, I'll probably put their name or whatever, like, as I'm asking the question. So, and I want to say thank you guys for everybody who participated and sent in questions. I know now that I have to, like, post the questions like a day ahead of time or 2 days ahead of time so that I can, like, get a response and then have questions, like, so I'm so excited. Okay, so first question, and they're, like, not in, I don't think they're in specific order. Some of them come from Snapchat, some of them are from Instagram. So this one's from Royalty Love 143. Hey girl. So she said, how far along was I when my morning sickness stopped? So, I think I was still, like, in my first trimester. So let me just disclaimer, everybody is different. Like, don't take what I say and run with it for, like, your own experience. But for me personally, my experience, I didn't have, like, morning sickness. It would be, like, late at night, like midnight-ish. Like, it was always, like, at night. So I guess that technically is morning. But, like, there's a such thing as night sickness. And I learned that from, like, looking stuff up and researching stuff. Because I was like, well, I don't have morning sickness, but I get sick, like, every night. So I think maybe around the second month. Like, I don't know, because throughout my whole pregnancy, I still would get sick and stuff. So let's just go with month 2, maybe, or 3. It was a lot in the first trimester, but then, like, in the second trimester, it definitely died down. So, like, maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months. Okay, and then Tanique Spam said, how did it feel? And I'm guessing that she means, like, how did it feel when I had her? And it hurt. So, like, you gotta be strong. Having a baby is kind of like period cramps on steroids.
It's okay. It's okay, baby.
Okay, so the next question is from Shakayla. And the question is, what was the scariest part of my experience? And you know what? I never, like, thought about the scariest part. I think the scariest thing for me was when I was actually pushing her out. I was worried about, like, oh my gosh, like, what if I tear? Because everybody talks about, like, a ripping and stuff. And that's one thing that I was, like, scared about. I think that's the most scary thing. Because once you start the contractions, you're already, like, in it. So I think that was, like, the scariest part. And then the next one was from Diane. And the question is how to deal with pain. Now, everybody deals with pain differently. Some people cry. Some people need to, like, lay down or get on their hands and knees. And I personally deal with the pain by, like, just, like, kind of like meditating. Sounds cheesy, but, like, you gotta, like, meditate and you gotta focus and you gotta, like, concentrate. You need to have, like, an end goal in mind and stuff. That's what I did, and that's how I dealt with the pain. Now, this next series of questions comes from, there's a lot of questions in this section, at Foreign Ferrari. So the first question is, did it hurt? Yes, it hurt. And the next question is, how did it feel to hold her? That feeling was, like, there was, like, not one feeling. Like, my body was, like, going through so much. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. And then I didn't cry, and I was just, like, trying to catch my breath. And then there was just, like, so many emotions going on at one time when I held her. But I thought she was gonna be bigger. So, like, when I wrapped my hands around her, like, to grab her, my fingers were, like, touching each other. I'm holding her, so I can't show you, but, like my fingers were almost interlocked. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so small. There was, like, a lot of emotions going on, though, in my head. The next question is, did it hurt after you had the baby? Did it still hurt? Yeah, it did. but it didn't hurt like I thought it was gonna hurt. Like people made it seem like when you have your baby, healing is gonna be like terrible. But for me, personally speaking, it wasn't. Like it was more so uncomfortable and like a little bit sore, but it wasn't painful. Like I wasn't like it just wasn't that painful for me. Like when I sit down and get up, I have to like take my time because that was really uncomfortable, but it didn't hurt. How long did you have to stay at the hospital afterwards? Well, we stayed for like we had her on Friday and we left on Sunday. So like but they say like I think we stayed that long because we were first time parents, and they want to make sure they teach us a lot of stuff before we go home about her having new babies and everything. Does your stomach go down a lot immediately, like after having her? No, like it goes down a lot from like her being in there, but it's still big. So like you still look like you're pregnant afterwards. But then by Sunday, my stomach was like went down a lot. It had went down a lot more. But like immediately after, no, you still look pregnant kind of, and your stomach is still kind of like poopy. Was your husband in there the whole time? Yes, he was. My husband was there. My sister was there. They were in the room the entire time. He was being really supportive, but he was also tired because he does graveyard shift and like he hadn't had any sleep because I went into labor like that morning when he was supposed to be coming home. So yeah, he was tired, but he was there and he was up. How big was the baby? She was 6 pounds and 15 ounces. Did I eat ice? Yes, I did eat ice. You know, I wanted some ice this morning too, but because it's just like the texture is just amazing and like oh my god, it's just so good. And there's a gas station like right across the street from our house that has the ice, but it's not as tiny. They're like bigger pieces, but it's still the same ice. When he used to come home from work, I was like, can you bring me some ice home? Yeah, so good. What all takes place in labor? So you have the contractions, you have to time them so you know how far apart they are. You have to make sure, like, I guess from like beginning to end, you need to make sure you have like all your bags packed and everything in the car seat, all the baby stuff that you're gonna take. And then you need to have like a birthing plan, like a labor plan that you put into place with your doctor, which is like when I go into labor, I don't want this, I don't want that, I want this needs to happen, and that you need to have like a plan like that. So stuff like that is what takes place during labor. But really for the mom, like when you're in labor, the most important thing is I think like meditating and like focusing on the pain and concentrating. And that's if you're trying to do it like natural. So that's a good one. And then the last question from at Foreign Ferrari was how long was I in labor? And I was in labor for like 9 hours from beginning to end. So 5:45 in the morning to 2:48. So it's 3 minutes off of 9 hours. So yeah, so and also if I get questions that are like I already answered them, I'm still gonna like say the name and then I'm still going to ask the question, but I'm not gonna answer it again, like, so you know. The next series of questions come from my mom. These are really good questions. So do we want more kids, and if so, how soon? So we were talking about that, and we do want more kids, but the time frame from like we definitely don't want to wait too long. I think like the most important thing for me is to make sure that she is potty trained or at least walking. Like she got to be doing one of those two things. Well, I think they both come, like one comes with the other. You got to be walking and then get a potty train. So like as long as she is like progressing like she's supposed to, I think that maybe by the time she's like 1.5, or we think 2 is too late. I think 2 is too late. So like 1.5, I think. Our minds might change, but we were talking about it because he was like, no, that's too late. You might as well wait till she's 5 years old. Like, that's just too long. So, yeah. And he said, like, if we have 3 girls, he's not going to try anymore. Okay, so, and then the next question is, how would you explain the pain for someone who's never had a baby? So, I think I would explain the pain like they definitely start off as period cramps. That's it. Like, I was sitting down like this in my bed, and I was feeling them coming, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they get to a point where you cannot sit down anymore. And you just have to be up. You need to be up. Well, I needed to be up because I don't know how I needed to be up. And then from there, it gets to a point where, man, it hurts so bad. Have you ever had a stomach virus? That's the most pain that I had ever had before. So I would say like, yeah, that's what I would say. A stomach virus, it's like that bad times like period cramps. Plus, like, and then I started feeling like I had to throw up when I was having some of the contractions. I never did, thank goodness, but like it was getting to that point. I'm gonna have to make this video like part 1, part 2, and then part 3 for the whole story time, like all together. Oh my gosh, there's like so many questions. Um, oh, how is it adjusting back to your regular life now with a new member to your family? So before the baby, it was just like with just the two of us. It was like we kind of had a routine. Like I would be up all night because he works at night, so I would be like up. We would like FaceTime when he was on break and text and stuff like that. And then like in the morning when you come home, I would probably have had like 1 or 2 hours of sleep. So then like we sleep in the daytime and then we get up and we're up at night. So that's how life was before. So now she hasn't gotten to a routine yet. So like, I don't know. We haven't really had to like had a routine yet because he took a week off from work and he just went back to work yesterday. So like tonight will be his second night going back to work. But so far with me being here with her, I still haven't had to. It's still not just the three of us because my sister is here, so I still don't have to do everything by myself yet. Like I'm not here by myself completely. So I don't know. That's like a tough question. But like it has changed a lot because like now like oh my gosh, I'm responsible for a whole nother life, and you don't get to just like, oh, she's going home to her mom tomorrow. Like you don't get to do that. It's not over. It's just like you're just stuck. So breastfeeding or bottle feeding, and if breastfeeding, how's it going for you? So I am breastfeeding. She was just not eating anyway. Hold on. She fell asleep. But yeah, so I'm breastfeeding, and it's going great. Since we've been home, I just sometimes worry like, oh my gosh, is she eating enough? Because like she will just be on my boob all like every 15-30 minutes on my boob. But then I'm just like, okay, well I talked to my lactation consultant and she was like, feed your baby, like if she's hungry, she's gonna let you know that she's hungry, feed her. So yeah, that's working out great for me personally. It's working out. I love it. Okay, so this video had to get cut right here. Y'all gonna have to wait till part 2 comes out because y'all asked a lot of questions, or I talked too much, one or the other, who cares. But part 2 is gonna come out in a little bit. Stay tuned.